Associate Director Matt Kollrepp. Matt has recently written a very interesting article on verbal agreements. That stems back to contract law, which is one of the very first subjects as lawyers we have to study, and that's because so much of what we do in law is based on contracts. But verbal contracts can cause a little bit of disagreement. How does that work, Matt?
Yeah, so I think the issue with verbal contracts is one of the formal elements, I think, going back a step is intention. So the parties have to intend to create a binding or a legal relationship. When you've got a verbal contract, it's difficult to, I guess, prove the existence of that contract because it's generally one party's word against another's. So that leads to disputes. So not only about the existence of the contract, but the terms as well. So you might have one party saying the terms were this, and the other party having a complete different recollection and saying the terms are something entirely different. So having an oral contract for that reason creates, I guess, some complexities, uncertainties, and issues with enforcement later on. So I think the tip is to, where possible, if you've done a verbal contract with another party, confirm it in writing by email. Get the other party to confirm that those terms are correct and agreed. And that's probably the safest way to deal with a verbal contract.
Because when entering into a contract with someone, you're generally on friendly terms. It's only if something goes wrong where we start to question really what it is that we agreed to.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. So what you want to avoid is, I guess, that any element of uncertainty where possible. So we generally encourage people, if they're thinking about a contract, to just put in writing. If you can't afford lawyers to draft the contract for you, and it's a small contract, have a go at it yourself. Put something together, and at least there's something there that documents what you understood to be the terms of the agreement. For more significant contracts where there's more at stake, then it certainly makes sense to invest at the outset on good legal advice and getting a lawyer to draft it, rather than at the back end of that where there's a dispute. And the litigation costs are generally going to far outweigh the costs that you would incur in doing it the other way.
It's almost like an insurance policy.
You
pay a little bit at the start to save a lot of money at the end.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks for clarifying those issues, Matt, and we look forward to the next litigation one.